Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a good Tuesday afternoon. It's October 27th. And yeah, so today I am back with a Tropical Storm Zeta update. And a winter weather update, because we do have an upcoming winter storm, and we have an ongoing one right now. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Oh yes, please subscribe, I would really appreciate it. By the end of November, I'd like to hit 235. We did get another new subscriber yesterday, so we're at 225, so thank you guys for that. But yeah, let's get started with the video. So right now, this is the IR of Tropical Storm Zeta. The tropical storm has weakened a little bit. It's weakened 15 miles per hour since yesterday's video. As you guys can see, it does have some dry air starting to get into it, and it did weaken a little bit because it went over land. But now it's back in the open waters. It's back in the Gulf, and so we're probably going to see some strengthening with this soon. So yeah, this is kind of the remnants of the eye wall right there. We have some pretty strong outer bands affecting areas like Cancun. Actually, a little bit to the east of Cancun. But yeah, so it's still a strong storm. It is getting some dry air, and it has weakened a little bit though. So yeah, we're gonna have to see how it re-strengthens. But yeah, so we're gonna look at this is Zeta right here. 65 miles per hour, and 985 millibars is the low. And so yeah, so the cone, this is the updated cone. We have hurricane warnings out for areas of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and some tropical storm warnings out for the Florida Panhandle and southern Alabama also. And yeah, so the wind field has gotten larger, the tropical storm force, and this is forecasted to become a hurricane by tonight and make landfall as a hurricane tomorrow night. So we're really only going to have one more video before this thing makes landfall. And then it's going to move into Georgia, weaken down to a depression, and go into the mid-Atlantic as a depression, and then potentially re-strengthen to a subtropical storm. So yeah. That is that. Let's look at the wind speed probabilities. Right now, areas like New Orleans are at around 70 to 80, actually around 60 to 70% chance of tropical storm force winds. That's probably going to go up, though, for some of these areas, to 90% by tomorrow's video, as confidence gets greater. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that again tomorrow. But yeah, so this is the National Weather Service hazards map here. This just shows you what we have going on. We have red flag warnings in California, areas of Arizona and Nevada. And in the central U.S., as you can see right here, we have ice storm warnings in this purple color, going down to around Midland, Texas, and going up through areas like Oklahoma City, not up to Wichita, but a little bit of southern Kansas is in that. And we have a lot of winter weather advisories for areas like southern Kansas all the way down to southern Texas, southwestern Texas. Man, these pink colors here, these are winter storm warnings for areas like Amarillo and Lubbock. And Albuquerque, so this is definitely a pretty interesting October winter storm. It's definitely a pretty serious one, too, for October. And then on the other side of things, in the southeast, we have tropical storm warnings right here in this red shade, hurricane warnings in this darker, kind of brighter red, and tropical storm watches are now go up to Montgomery, Alabama, in this lighter red shade. And then we have some flash flood watches, or have a flash flood watch out for northwest Georgia. So yeah, that's what we have going on with the warnings right now. Now, tomorrow we are going to have a severe threat as Zeta gets closer to making landfall, and as it does make landfall. We have a slight risk for areas like southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle, and a marginal risk going all the way up to Montgomery, Alabama, and down to New Orleans. As you guys can see right there. And then for day 3, we have 2 marginals. We have one for areas of the mid-Atlantic and one for Florida, southeastern Alabama, and southwestern Georgia. So yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a tornado potential with this. So we're gonna have to watch that. Now these are the tracks of this storm of Zeta. These are GFS ensembles and hurricane models. Yeah, that's right. These are mainly just hurricane models, but most of the models have it making landfall in southeastern Mississippi or southeastern Louisiana, or maybe Mississippi if it takes a more east track, and then going through central Alabama to right to the north of Montgomery, kind of going to the south of Birmingham also, but pretty close to Birmingham, and then going up to areas like Rome, Georgia and going up through North Georgia, then going through western South Carolina and western North Carolina, and then going back out into the ocean. So kind of the blend of these models kind of shows it going like this. Most of the models, so yeah, that's kind of what the middle of them is. So yeah, let's actually look at what's going to happen here. So this is just one model, so keep that in mind. This is not all the models. So the GFS model, this is the 12Z GFS. That's the latest one. This is tomorrow afternoon at 18Z. This is around 2 p.m. We do have it as a 975 millibar right here, coming towards Louisiana as a Category 1 hurricane likely. And yeah, we have a lot of rain due to our upper level low that's over here in Texas, or we have kind of two low pressures that are going to set up. We have an upper level low right here, kind of bringing in some moisture, and then we have Zeta, which is going to bring in a rainy mess for areas like Nashville, Little Rock, Jackson, Mississippi, and those areas in Oklahoma City. You might have some ice around still. Then in the morning tomorrow, though, we're going to have a little bit of another round of ice for areas like Amarillo and Lubbock. Maybe a little bit to the north of Lubbock. We're going to have another round of ice and snow. And today, we had a pretty serious one for Oklahoma City. I don't know exactly how much ice Oklahoma City has gotten, but it's pretty damaging ice. Yeah, so by 00Z, this is around 7 to 8 p.m. It has made landfall in southeastern Louisiana, going into Mississippi as a 975 millibar hurricane. So yeah, pretty strong still. And it's still a rainy mess for much of the south. So yeah. And then as we go towards Thursday early morning, it's coming towards Birmingham, bringing damaging winds and gusty winds, probably a lot of power outages for areas like Birmingham, Montgomery. It's a 985 millibar storm. And then our upper level low has moved east a little bit. It's right there. And then we have Zeta right here. So yeah, that's what we have going on. So we have a lot of rain with this. Not a ton of rain over one area, but a ton of rain over a large area, or a medium amount of rain over a very large area. As in, it's going to be raining from areas like Oklahoma City down through Dallas, all the way over to North Carolina and Virginia. So it's going to be a pretty large storm. And then by Thursday morning, it moves into kind of north Georgia and eastern South Carolina, bringing damaging winds to areas in western North Carolina, western South Carolina, North Georgia, and eastern Tennessee. Not as damaging as back here, but still a little bit gusty, and maybe some trees if there's enough moisture. If you get enough rain, that can make the ground less or more saturated, which can make trees fall easier. Then by Thursday afternoon, 995, and that is in central Virginia. It's going to bring some rain and going to bring our next winter storm to the northeast, which we're going to be talking about soon. And our upper level low is still back here, bringing some rain areas to the south of St. Louis and Paducah, kind of those areas. And yes, that's the start of our winter storm. Around Thursday night is when our winter storm could get its act together. As Zeta moves off and our upper level low moves in. So yeah, we're going to be talking about our winter storm now. The GFS is bringing a decent amount of snow for the northeast, but we have a zoom in sector for the northeast, which is this. So you can see here with our zoomed in sector at, oh dang, wait, okay. With our zoomed in sector here, this is Thursday night. We have this is the European model, this is different than the GFS. We have some freezing rain pockets and some mixing starting to come into areas like New York and Vermont and maybe Massachusetts and northern PA. And as it cools down overnight, this is now Friday morning, we have some pretty heavy snow mixing in areas like northern PA, central New York, southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire, and southwestern Maine, and northern Massachusetts right there. And then as it cools down, this is when we have the most cold air coming in. The snow kind of gets more light and moderate, but it's still here for the northeast. It does reach more south places, not New York City, because New York City has a heat bubble. But here, much of Massachusetts, it gets snow other than southeastern Massachusetts, and it's going to be bringing some snow to a lot of areas. And then it moves out during the day, Friday, and by Friday night, the northeast clears out, and it's just going to be a cold high pressure sets in. So yeah, let's look at some snowfall totals here. Let's look at some snowfall totals. So we're looking at the highest snowfall totals are around central New York and southern Vermont. where we could see a foot plus potentially. And we could in northern PA we could be seeing around 1 to 5. But yeah, the wrap of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow, probably afternoon. But yes, bye.